Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this is not working. So let's get open for business and let's wake up those football gods here. Wake up, guys. Wake up. Man, I am excited as can be. It is Saturday morning, and let me go ahead and kill the music before I get somebody complaining that this is a dance club or is this the Dallas Cowboys. It's both, okay? It's both. Don't be hating on the music. You know, the football gods up here. A gift from Joseph Heatherly. I've got so many pieces in here that have been given to me by you great fans and stuff. I can't thank you enough because, somebody had coined the phrase that this is becoming the Smithsonian of the Dallas Cowboys, and if that ends up being the case, I would love it. But the football gods up here are the 77 Dallas Cowboys. And this is a piece that was made right after that. So this is a hard piece to find if you can find it anywhere. From time to time, you'll see one on eBay. I will say that this one is probably more unique than what you'd find on eBay because so far I've gotten Randy White to sign it, and I got Tony Dorsett to sign it as well. So I've got two of the 77, and come next weekend in Chantilly, Virginia, we're having an autograph signing show where, just wait for it, Drew Pearson, going into the Hall of Fame, is going to be there. So we're going to take this to him. The other thing I'll say that definitely is different about my 77 Dallas Cowboys, and I have a video of it, is when I took it to the autograph signing show, what I've done is I've taken the screws out of the bottom of the figures so I can take the figures off. So that way it'll be easier for the player to sign there. And so I take this up there and I set it on the table for Tony Dorsett, and I pull his figure off, and he looked like, the fuck? He said, how'd you do that? I said, there's screws underneath the bottom of it, and so I've taken them all off so I can take it out. And he picks it up and looks underneath of it and says, I'll be damned. And I'm kind of like, okay. He said, I have that exact same piece. I've had it forever. Never knew you could take the figures off of it. So I've got literally, it's one of those great stories that I have, and I've got photographic proof of it, and it was just mystifies me that I've got the same thing. Actually, we've got the same thing that Tony Dorsett has at his home. And with that being said, thinking about the 77 Dallas Cowboys and the team that I grew up with, it's almost funny because last night during my live stream, a lot of the Eagle trolls that were there, were talking about, you ain't never seen your team in the Super Bowl in high def. It's like, you know what? You never saw your team win a Super Bowl in the golden age of football, before it became all about the money, before it became, I am a 1099 employee and I am a free agent that can go anywhere. You weren't there to see it when players played and gave it all for their team. So, yeah, I want to see my team win one in high def, but you don't understand what you missed out for. You don't understand the way they played football. And like I said, back in the day, that was the golden age of football. It wasn't about the hype game or the trash that you get on the sports. It was just man against man, team against team, and players that you knew they were forever going to be Cowboys. Randy White was going to be a Cowboy his whole career. Drew Pearson was going to be a Cowboy. They weren't hired guns. See, that's when teams were real teams. Yeah, I want to see my team in Super Bowl sooner than later. But I'm not giving up all those great things that I saw. And one of the things that you always saw back then, and if you go back and you look at the tapes, was a defense, the Doomsday defense that put the fear of God in other teams. Teams that kicked their ass left and right. Teams that were physical. When I talk about Randy White up there, Randy White looked like he could still still do some damage. Randy White had a stare and an anger, a quiet storm that scared his own teammates in practice. Other teams knew when they were playing against the Dallas Cowboys defense, they were going to be hit and hit and hit. That it wasn't going to be just one guy. It was going to be all of them coming after your ass. And come Monday, you're going to remember that you played the Dallas Cowboys defense. And I can't think of too many things that were like that, except probably in recent history, I'd have to say the Legion of Boom. You think of Richard Sherman, telling, don't bring no garbage-ass receivers in here. Physical. You think about the pounding that they would do, the hits, coming after your ass. And I think that's what this defense is headed towards. A trash-talking, back it up, kick your ass in your face defense. Maybe I'm wrong. But hearing yesterday that we got fined for being too physical. I told you guys I'm going to wear this clip out. I found this clip when we first hired Dan Quinn, and it spoke to me. This was after the Seattle Seahawks, a defense that was number one in yardage defense, number one in scoring defense, number one at taking the football away, number one at in your face talking smack and backing it up. A defense that literally destroyed Denver in the Super Bowl. Smothered them. Kicked ass and took names. If they can get this defense pointed in that direction, and it feels like these guys, they're trying to keep the muzzle on the dogs. They're trying to keep the muzzle on the dog. They got them on the leash right here. We're talking about OTAs that these guys are getting after it and getting physical. They're chomping at the bits. They're chomping at the bit to get out there. They're young, they're hungry, and they want to be let loose. And here's the key for the Dallas Cowboys. They let them mother humpers loose. Man, it's going to be something beautiful. It's going to be something beautiful. And this is why I'll go into it more later. This video is already getting long. I don't want to put too many people to sleep. But this is one of the reasons why you look at and say, yeah, that's why they ended up having the Cowboys on Hard Knocks, because you've got so many storylines in here. And, Dan Quinn, after being chased out of town in Atlanta and coming to Dallas, can he replicate what he did with, the Seattle Seahawks, from the worst defense in the history of the Dallas Cowboys? There's so many storylines that'll go with this, between Jalen Smith, can Jalen Smith, fit this scheme and, get himself together. It's going to actually be fun to watch. So a lot of people are like, it's going to be a distraction and all that. I don't think it's going to be, but I'll go into it more later. But I'm hoping that this is the change that the Dallas Cowboys have needed. For me, I like to look back at history. One, because you're old and you don't want to think about how little future you have. But if you don't know where you've come from, you don't know where you're going. And the thing is, one of the identities have always been for the Cowboys is great running back and hard-nosed, come after your ass, crazed wolf defense. We've had some pretty good defenses since the 90s, but none that you look at and you feared. None that caught up into your face. None that you'd want to say, we got to have a name for them. Maybe the name Hot Boys was fitting for what our defense was there, because they weren't men. It was just kind of like, yeah, we hot boys. I'm looking for a defense that's going to play lights out, that gets my offense the ball. Because you can think about Roger Staubach and Drew Pearson and Tony Dorsett and all those offensive weapons that are in the Hall of Fame. But without that Doomsday defense, they're not winning those Super Bowls. And the same can be said about Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Larry Allen. Great offense. They ain't winning those Super Bowls without that defense. And you can look at our offense and say, man, Dak Prescott, he's putting up a whole bunch of numbers. We got the offense, like our Cowboys identity, the great running back in Zeke Elliott, quarterback that's distributing the ball and getting it around to the guys, the great wide receivers. We have all those pieces that we've had in the great Cowboys teams. The thing that's missing is that in-your-face defense. I think we're headed for that one. There's going to be a learning curve. They're going to make some mistakes, but the mistake that you won't see will be a lack of effort. And I'm going to go back to that clip.
Yeah, we knew whatever conditions were going to come up tonight, we really, one of the main things we want to do is just play at our style. And we did that tonight. That was one of the things going in all year long. We're fast, we're physical, and we have a real style about how we play. I thought that came out tonight.
Fast and physical.
I certainly hope so. Couldn't be more proud to be part of that unit that plays, with an aggressive style. We talked about out-hitting people in terms of how we want to affect the quarterback and even checking the ball down the way we want to tackle. We wanted to win it with fundamentals, and our guys work really hard in that fashion. It's something that our coaching staff and the players, we talk tackling, we talk turnovers really every day that we practice, and that's what came through tonight.
What did you do?
Well, we certainly have so much respect for their offense the way it did. So I was not surprised that we played well. We've had terrific weeks of practice and preparation. So going into it, we were healthy and really felt like we were going to play fast and physical. We prepared for, for 2 weeks.
Fast and physical.
If you give those group of guys 2 weeks to prepare, the coaches and those players, I think you're going to like the results.
What did you tell your players after the game, coach?
Really just how proud I was to be part of the unit, and the thing that I was most impressed about is that we really played in a style and fashion that we're accustomed to. We're fast, we're physical, and we played this game on our terms, and that was one of the things we went into the game saying, and for us to go and play it in that way, and have it come true in that way, it was awesome.
Where do the Seahawks rank the all-time greatest defenses?
I'll let you guys decide that. I couldn't be more fired up to be part of our unit and the attitude and the way that we play, so I'll leave that to you guys. Coach Carroll has been he's been huge for my career. I think just how to.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and end it there, and you guys have seen this video clip from me many, many, many times. But you can see this evolution of the defense. Fast, physical, out-hitting. And that, my friends, is the missing piece that the Dallas Cowboys have not had since the 90s. All right, y'all. We sit 68 days, 10 hours, 6 minutes away from kickoff against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And as always, you know the deal.
Our coach here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report.
You did it one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is